Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello, good morning, or good afternoon. Good afternoon, why did I say good morning? How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone is well. Today is December 10th, 2022, 3:57 on the East Coast of the USA. Thank you all so much for joining me. So we're going to be talking about Idaho 4. Things have really went crazy in the last week, really, but yeah, just a lot of craziness. And we are going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Yes, we are not covering that, Melissa. So first off, I want to, okay, sorry. I thought you needed a reason to sit down always late. Well, good. I'm glad. So we're going to talk about the recording. We're going to talk about different things covering. There is a Daily Mail article that just came out, and they also the city of Moscow just put out. Well, let me just show you this first. So 4 hours ago, for immediate release, December 10th, 2022, Moscow homicide update. Moscow, Idaho, with the commencement this weekend, there will be an influx of people coming in from out of town. Moscow Department and Idaho State Police will provide coverage on campus in the Moscow area. As always, we want to remind the public to stay vigilant, travel in groups, and communicate with family and friends as you travel. If you have any information regarding this case, please email the tipline at ci.moscow.id.us or call 208-883-7180. We want to thank the public for their continued support. The investigation continues with the same amount of resources. Moscow Police Department, six detectives, 5 support staff, communication team, federal FBI, 46 investigators in Moscow and located throughout the country, 2 behavioral analysis unit investigators, Idaho State Police, 13 investigators in Moscow, 15 uniformed troopers assisting the Community Patrol ISP Forensic Services. They're talking about they're still looking for the 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Investigators would like to thank the community for the public for the recent information provided about the vehicle and the spike in tips. The FBI is prioritizing and vetting those tips for the investigators. The public is asked to continue to use the tip line for any information. And it says detectives remain interested in speaking with the occupants. Doesn't say the driver, doesn't say the owner, the occupants of a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra with the unknown license plate. Tips and leads have investigators to look for additional information, and the vehicle being in immediate area of the King Road during residence this morning, the morning hours of November 13th. Investigators believe the occupants of the vehicle may have critical information regarding this case. Critical information. They're not calling them a suspect. They're just saying that they have critical information. Oh, that's nice, Pat. Good for you. I have to start. I'm actually going to start my Christmas shopping today. Okay, so yes, there is that. There's a lot of people going to be, coming in town, and I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of worry between a lot of those families and the students still, because there is still a murder on the loose. Whether he, just wanted these, the four dead in the home, or, could he strike again? He's not caught. So I want to talk about the neighbor and the scream right now. So last night we were talking about how the neighbor said that he heard a scream, or that he didn't hear a scream. I've actually got it pulled up here. Let me see here. Four killed in stabbing across street. No screams, no evidence, no trace. So like professional killers, ? But why on 3 sorority girls? SHIT doesn't make sense. So then, thank you, Abdullah. So then he waits, and then he posts. He allegedly comes out and says there was a black luxury SUV, and the door was wide open, and there was this alleged recording. Now, the recording went rampant all over YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, even news sites. And it was later determined that some YouTuber, somebody can write it in the chat. I don't remember. I think his name's Joseph or something to that effect. Posted or allegedly even made this up. The recording, yes, that's it. Joseph Morrison Videos. He's the guy that released the audio of the fake scream. Yes. And there is enough. This is the thing. I don't understand why people have to make it a worse situation, even more worse. Like, don't put fake stuff. You know what I mean? Like, don't make up. It's bad enough, people. And a lot of us played that yesterday, and for someone who made up like a freaking Like, why make it worse? Why make it worse?
I want to bring in Jennifer Coffendoffer next. She's a former FBI special agent with 28 years in federal law enforcement, and she knows every inch of this case. Okay, you're the official now. Can you help me sort through the messaging? And let me just remind you of the four things. The black SUV, never heard anything about black SUV. The timeline, do you have the timeline solved or do you not have the timeline solved? Not updated.
Okay, guys, I think this is a very interesting that dropped this morning, because there is the thing is, there is a not good communication going on. The parents have really felt like, they're not getting any sort of even communication regarding, what's going on. I get it. The police, the authorities, the FBI, they have to keep, the glove, to the vest really, really closely. But there still needs to be some sort of communication. And here you will see that, this neighbor says, well, I told him about a black SUV. Well, I told him I heard a scream. And the chief's like, huh, news to me, news to me.
Updating you on that. The door was open. That's news to me, says the chief. And the scream. Nobody seems to be answering the fact that a neighbor says he may have heard a scream at exactly 4 a.m. Help me figure out why this stuff isn't as important as I feel it is.
Actually, this information is very important, but law enforcement is ferreting through all of these leads, all of these tips. They did their initial canvas, right? And the people who did that information or got that information pulled together, that is going to a command post setting. That information then is being distributed to the case agent from the FBI and to the lead detective from Moscow, as well as ISP. Those are the people that have the answers to these questions. From there, it's funneled out, and the chief of police has been the spokesman in this case. So I think there's some communications that may be lacking. And the other thing, Ashley, for instance, with the neighbor, they canvassed, they talked to him, they did a full interview, and now he's coming out with these additional details, as you pointed out.
So this is my thing. Obviously the authorities went to, talk to everybody around, where the murders took place, all the neighbors and everything. Why is this neighbor now coming out and saying, well, I told you about a black SUV. Well, I told you that the door was open. Either he did or he didn't, and maybe it got lost. I don't know. But, or is this neighbor just wanting attention? Is he, is he trying? I mean, as I'm not saying the neighbor did this by any stretch of the imagination. Uh, it's not up for me to say who did this, but did, like, some people some suspects or killers who do this, they always get very close to the scene. Just like in the Delphi case and a lot of cases, why is this neighbor now starting to say more of this? From what I was reading, it was the YouTube who faked it all, not the neighbor. Wow. So just Samantha, I mean, then what my question is, who got all of these news networks to write about the black SUV? Who got the news networks to write about the door being open? So that would be, that's my question. I mean, you can't. Yes, Kelly, I saw the Icamel video. I mean, why? Like, to literally make up something and it runs like wildfire, like, you are really hurting an investigation. Plunder has posted the Daily Mail article. It's fake. Take a look. If I'm reading it correctly. Okay, we'll look at that as soon as this is over. That is so wild, because when somebody posts something major, or what they consider to be major, it runs like he's got like 300,000 subs. Oh my god. What's the channel called? I mean, for someone to have that many subs and put your like reputation on the line, because it was all over TikTok, it was all over Twitter, it was all over everywhere. Okay. Damn. Okay, let's finish this. Holy shit.
Those details don't match up with what he wrote. So my belief would be that those agents believe his initial interview is what was accurate.
So what about the black SUV?
And most, and I think Jennifer's right. Most times they take your initial interview as what is most accurate.
He says there was an unusual luxury black SUV that was parked, just a few stalls away, literally like within the stone's throw to the entrance of the home in that adjacent parking lot. To have the police say we are not aware of any reports of an SUV. Well, did you read the newspaper this morning? I think that frustrates me, because he says he told the police that morning. It is in black and white on the front page of the Idaho Statesman that he reports there's a black SUV, and yet all they've done is release that there's a curious white Hyundai Elantra out there. Why not mention something about information pertaining to a black SUV? Why not put that APB out there?
Well, I would believe that what happened is he didn't give that information initially. He has now given that information. And I would believe the FBI and state police and Moscow PD have looked at that, maybe had already identified this SUV and have cleared it. The car that can't clear is the Elantra, and that's why they're focused on that and not this black SUV.
Jennifer, if that.
So this is the thing. We need to take the black SUV, just get rid of it out of your head. Nobody's worried about the black SUV at all. The white Hyundai Elantra is what everybody needs to be looking for. Joseph Morrison and has to know each other. Deleted that part about the scream in his. Oh, really? I see you. Really? So he had it up about the scream too. Wow. Man alive.
That's the case. That's legitimate. Why would they answer us officially in an email? We are not aware of any black SUV. I mean, it just seems so dismissive to what could be a critical detail. They're asking the public for every small detail they could possibly get. And here's a guy who says he said it to the police. He said it to the Idaho Statesman. It's been literally in print since the Idaho Statesman actually released it online. I would guess at midnight last night, but certainly it'd land on their desk in the morning. It would seem to me that they should take that more seriously.
You know, I truly believe that.
So A.G. Copeland is saying Jay Morris, the YouTuber, did not make up the story. The guy claimed it on Facebook. JLR just posted the guy changed his story on Facebook, and now the guy's laughing. That could, yes, that's okay. Huh. All right. While I play this, I'm gonna look for that, and then it's almost over.
There is a huge communication gap and error, and just the Moscow PD not handling the communication like they should be. And listen, this has the FBI's footprint all over it. The FBI isn't even going to talk, isn't even going to answer a question, isn't going to send out an email. So certainly the FBI is trying to keep all the information encapsulated, yet they want to have some information go out. So Moscow has been put at the point. But possibly Moscow, the chief, doesn't even have those particulars yet. Because again, Ashley, there's this chain of custody, if you will, or chain of information that's going up. And I think that the people at the top of that chain then aren't releasing first. And then secondarily, they're trying to release a little bit. And the communication is just completely lost in that process.
One last quick question. I've only got about 30 seconds left, and that is the occupants of the white Hyundai. That was the wording that was used. We're looking to talk to the occupants of the white Hyundai. They're not asking for the owner. They're not asking for the driver. They're asking for the occupants. Is there something I need to read into that language?
Yes, I think so. That really stood out to me too, Ashley. And that's that the information they have related to this vehicle is that there were occupants inside of it. And that is probably coming from an interview, possibly backed up from camera footage, but certainly that is a key piece of information that they put out with that particular precise language. It's important.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get.
Okay, so JLR posted this. This is the idiot that started the fake Scream audio hoax. Complete scammer. Many people on Twitter calling him out. I concur. He is caca. So already stated it's unrelated in the hoax spreading is. He's deleting everyone's comments and blocking like crazy, calling who calls him on his BS. So yes, that recording, so he was the one, I guess, who originally put it out. My question is, did the person who first put it out, was it the neighbor on his Facebook, or was it this YouTuber? Did this YouTuber pick it up from the Facebook of the neighbor, or did he just make it up? I mean, because literally news stations were picking it up. No, neighbor gave the report. I see you. Can you send me the old one and the updated one? Like, can you email that to me? And the YouTuber is the YouTuber law enforcement is always referring to. I believe I would look at him as a YouTuber never said where video was from. You already emailed it? Okay. Let me look at that. Okay, so this is interesting. Well, I'm famous. I always knew this game would come. Dope ass staff and cooking videos coming with some merc and maybe a GoFundMe down to barter from interviews, autographs, and services. That's very sick. Hey, Camille. Hey, baby. Um, so, I mean, that's sick to do that. I mean, honestly, I think if he's sick enough to write this, he's sick enough to do a fake recording. But I don't know. I knew the recording is fake. I get that part. But I want to know, did this YouTuber take it from the Harsh guy, or did the YouTuber just make it up entirely? Well, anybody who makes up potential evidence, your ass is grass, and it should be. So Inan Harsh has nothing to do with the audio. Who is responsible? Exactly. It seems the chef guy did not record what he heard. Okay. The real recording is a girl named Jewel Rancid. Thank you, Illusion. Okay. So the YouTuber made the clip and then he put it out there for everybody. Now, my next question is what about like the black SUV, the door being left open, all of that? Because all the news organizations have said this plainly, that who made up, or I'm not saying who made up, but who put out originally, like the source. Jewel Rancid is saying that Joseph, oh my God, Linda. Check his Facebook. He was mad. Yeah, I saw that, but that was a while back when somebody left a note on his door, wasn't it? I have no idea. And many believe he didn't hear anything. Then later, 4 days later, he went and edited his. He did edit it, AG. He did edit it. Because I see you, we have the. Let me see here. Four killed and have no evidence, no trace. So like fresh dreams. Okay, so look at this. November 15th, 1:16 p.m. 4 killed in stabbing across street. No screamed. So like professional killers, question mark. But why only 3 sorority girls? SHIT doesn't make sense. 4 kill in stabbing across street. No evidence, no trace. So like professional killers. So one says no screams, no evidence, and no trace. See, I don't even know which one's real. 4 and 13, 2 comments, 1 comment, 1 share. 4 killed in stabbing across street. No evidence, no trace. So like professional killers. But why on 3 sorority girls? Doesn't make sense. Okay. On this one, no screams, no evidence, no trace. November 2. The one with no screams was the original. Yes. Yeah, I know the ones with no screams was the original. But what's interesting to me is this is November 15th at 1:16, and this is November 15th at 1:16. Is one made up or is one edited? Dodging it came from an old. Here, Tony. Whoever did this is sick. If you go to post on Facebook, you can see posts are edited. Have you seen the video? What the hell did they speak to the so-called officers out of uniform, no patrol car, giving tickets to 3 young boys within 200? Yeah, do you mean that? Yeah, I saw that one. Oh no, Fluffy. I hope you feel better, hon. I hope you feel better. This just doesn't make sense at all, Tina says. kept saying the guy clipped it from somewhere else. The recording is not real as far as pertaining to these murders, period. Yeah, I've seen Ikamel's video. I think it's a fake account. When you edit a post on Facebook, doesn't it put up the word edited in parentheses on top of the post? I don't know. I really don't use Facebook that much. I mean, someone claiming to be Inan's family member says his Facebook was hacked. I just want to know now. So the thing is, this person apparently made up a video. We all went wild with it. And now I just want to know, is Inan Harsh, did he really say about the black SUV and the door, or was that just made up too? And the news organizations picked that up. So look at this. Inan Harsh, 30, originally from Pullman, said he lived a few doors down in the same apartment complex for about 2 years. He works as a cook for an upscale restaurant in his hometown and does not attend the University of Idaho, he said. Harsh, too, said he took note of the unusual quiet of the surroundings when he got home from work at approximately 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. He's used to a noisy environment, even at the hour, he said. And once over the summer, wandered into the neighbor's house parties, thinking it was Gonclaves, Cronodle, and Chapin, with whom he shared some conversation. The Sunday, however, the typical weekend crowd of 15 or 20 in the home's backyard, sometimes with fire pits alight, wasn't there, he said. Make sure y'all can see this. Okay, you can't. Did he know the neighbors? Okay, and then he put here on June 24th, to all females out of state, know you have a friend in Washington, I guess WA, with wheels and a place to crash. Also, if you're anti-abortions, please unfriend me right now. I don't get it. Okay, let me check my email and see if... Okay, thank you so much for emailing me. Okay, look at this, guys. 4 killed in stabbing across street. No screams, no evidence, no trace. So like professional killers. But why on 3 sorority girls? Shit doesn't make sense. 4 killed in stabbing Crete, no evidence, no trace. So like professional killers. Okay, so that's basically what I just 11 hours ago, November 15th. Huh. I think the killer is getting off on all this somewhere, killing these victims has given him a high, meaning he enjoyed it. Oh, I think yeah, he edited the original. He's, in my opinion, he's definitely a little strange. I mean, this is the thing. Why make something worse? Like, you are literally working against the police if you make up some shit like that. Who was rude? It wasn't me. I wasn't rude. Caught in the cookie jar. Hey, Kathy. Some people are born to money. Yes, exactly, and causing the family more hurt. It's just, I mean, and now he's saying autographs and everything else. Like, that's crazy. Now, guess what the Daily Mail put out just a little bit ago? And I'm sure that Idaho police won't be happy. Idaho cops spark fear. Quadruple murder could strike again. Capital letters this weekend as they warn students attending commencement to stay in the groups and keep phones handy. Like, they sensationalized it too much, in my opinion. You know, they did say stay in large groups, stay in lighted areas, but like, they've totally fear mongers. Yes. For Idaho cops have sparked fear. The murderer who killed 4 college students could strike again as they warn youngsters attending the commencement to stay in groups. Moscow police told visitors to stay of the city to keep in touch with the friends and family and stay vigilant during the celebration on Saturday. The commencement ceremony marks an important weekend for the city and will see a large influx of visitors coming into Moscow from out of town. But Police Chief James Fry offered some reassurance for department is deploying more officers on the street and the university of the event. The warning comes after 4 college students were brutally stabbed to death in their off-campus home on November 13th, 4 weeks on the killer. 4 weeks on the killer is yet to be caught. With commencement this week, there will be an influx of people coming in from out of town. Moscow Police Department and Idaho Police will provide coverage on campus and the Moscow area, police said in the statement. As always, we want to remind the public to stay vigilant, travel in groups, and communicate with family and friends as you travel. Moscow police said on Saturday morning that they had more than 10 investigators looking into the murders and that nearly 50 FBI agents were working to crack the case, including a number in Moscow itself. We're working steadily on the investigation, still, said Fry, we still push forward. The warning comes of the Moscow Police Department. They have yet to make much of a headway of the investigation, and they will not crack down, and they will now crack down on internet sleuths. At last month's stabbing captured in the nation's attention, sleuth on the internet being posted popular theories of the murders to fill the void of the Idaho police, who have criticized them for sharing little and repeatedly contradicting themselves. On Friday, Fry condemned the amount of speculation and rumors surrounding the case, said police have a sole authority to release the fact of the case. We want people to pay attention to what we're putting together out there because this is the accurate information, and anything that comes from other sources is either rumor or speculation. Says the news, whoever this is, the Daily Mail, they're sparking fear, like making it so much more dramatic. In my opinion, it is someone they cleared that posted laying low rich parents are lawyering up. Did you guys see this? Now, I want to be clear that this person is not a person of interest, but I want to show you how muddy things can be sometimes. Let me exit out of these. And that's not it. Try that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Leonard's defense attorney is also the county coroner, who said that all 4 college students were victims of homicide by stabbing and that their wounds had likely been inflicted in their sleep. So she's a defense attorney and the coroner, and she is the defense attorney for Purple Bandage Guy. Isn't that crazy? Like, recuse yourself. Hello. I mean, you should have recused yourself. Like, yeah. So there's that. I found a good picture. Derek Greenwood, credit goes to him. Come get you some grub. Food truck is here. Maybe the last time I don't know. But this is where the food truck is located. And that shows you, how they're operating, where they're operating. No, not the Purple Bandage Guy. I forget his name. What was his name? Leonard's. His last name's Leonard's. Yeah, it's starting to get out there like the conspiracies, like the Gabby Petito case. James Leonard, thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Free to Be. Thank you. So there's that. Here's that lady on News Now Nation, the coroner, who did this. There she is. One second, guys. I am Mimi. Thank you for becoming a member. Please welcome her to the family, the Justice for All family. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Very kind. So this is that. Let me look at something here. I don't know, but it's just gotten completely out of hand. Oh, and here's the body cam footage that needs to be debunked too as well. Need to get the rumors cleared up.
Differences in the way that the victims were killed. Some were more severe than the other. And this week we heard the target attack walk back and then reverse it back to it being a target attack. What can you tell us about the targeted attack?
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who. We asked specifically, and they said, we'll try to get that information to you. And they got back to us a day or so later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't give you that information. But then a day later, we saw in the news that it was not targeted, or they think the whole house was targeted. But
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's
They don't.
and Kaylee's cause of death, it does not match based on the autopsy report.
They don't match.
yeah.
Would indicate that one of them.
He doesn't have to
may
go
have
up
been
the
target.
steps. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an alpha. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps. Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me.
Calm down.
If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in the box, and I can speak on that.
Now, to be clear, the father did clear up. Yeah, I know. To be clear, the father did clear that up, meaning he didn't have to go up the steps to kill his daughter. Cassie, thank you so much for your super chat there. Thank you. Appreciate it. Can you Google power lines in front of the house to prove the 4 pairs of shoes were on the power lines before killings? I haven't even heard about that. Power lines, shoes. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. Like somebody was their shoes like. Hey, Camille.
Dustin?
Yes, dear.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm live. You know that?
Okay, I just got
Okay.
something I want to share real quick with our community because this whole world is getting out of hand. I have a doctor friend that I used to work for, and I still cut his hair. He came by the other day and he said, look, if you are going somewhere alone or going to your vehicle alone and you don't have time to grab you're not prepared and somebody just grabs you and turns you around, he said, punch them in the throat. He said, I don't care if it's a male or female, punch them in the throat. They'll bend forward immediately. And he said, then you come up and hit their nose as hard as you can. And he said, you'll have time to turn around and run. I guarantee you they'll be on the ground.
Yeah, the throat's a very sensitive part of the
I just feel like nobody's safe anymore. People are not looking out for each other. We have got to get back to that somehow. It's just, God, it's so frustrating. I mean, this is not how I was raised. This is not the world that I lived in, but I'm sending my kids out into it. My most prized blessing, the only thing I ever truly did 100% right in my whole life.
Right.
I'm sending those blessings out, and it just, it scares me. I mean, my son's in college right now. It scares me.
Yeah. I know.
But yeah, y'all please stay safe. I love all you guys. This is the best community. We can come and share ideas and support each other, and I love you all.
And we love you too, honey. Thank you.
Please stay safe.
We will do our best. Take care of yourself, hon.
Okay, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's our beloved Camille there. This was a very interesting post. Don't know if I should post this, but I am originally from Moscow and most of my family still lives there. Yesterday, someone I know that still lives there called me and told me that they had just spoken with the police. Long story short, he works with a guy who had for months been wearing a hunting knife to work on his belt and was asked not to bring it to work anymore, and the guy made a big deal about it, refused, and continued to wear it to work. And then after the murders, he no longer wore the knife to work. Now, this is my thing. Would somebody wear that size of a knife on the side of their pants? That's what I would like to know. I mean, that because it's a big, big knife. When asked about the coworkers when asked by the coworkers where his knife was and was asked to produce it, he refused and threatened to sue for harassment. In addition, the person was known for being punctual and not missing work and would even come in on days not scheduled. The days and the weeks after the murder, he was a no-call, no-show to work. And lastly, the night of the murders, he was in the vicinity of the food truck at the same time of the victims. The person I know said that the person in question has given off weird vibes, and the entire time they work together, supposedly no one on the crew likes working with him because of his weird behavior. Now, again, I don't know who this person is, but these are the things that people should be reporting to the police. Anyone acting suspicious, their behavior, things that are not adding up right. Probably nothing, but it's very strange that nobody has mentioned that Kaylee is wearing a man's jacket as if maybe it was borrowed at the bar. You know, I didn't even notice her jacket, to be quite honest with you. I don't know, where's that comment? Where is that comment? There is a Moscow call log on the coworker being a no-show 1500 levy. Beely, why would, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm just saying, why is there a Moscow call log for the worker not being a no-show? Oh, did they did they call the police because he didn't show up for work? It was definitely not her jacket, way too big for her. Okay, so they requested a welfare check. That's okay. That's interesting. Welfare check. So these are the type of, things that need to be called in. Then there's the video of cops finding a jacket in the bushes and they leave it. Jacket has same white tag Maddie was wearing. Yeah, that jacket I don't think was related. Okay, Cassie, I'll check it.
John?
Okay. The shoes on the power line. I don't know why people do that. People used to say it was drug related, but now I think it's probably just kids being silly. Maddie was selling a sweat top. Kaylee should have graduated today, correct? Yeah. I thought it was Kaylee that was a bit intoxicated, not Maddie. I think it was Maddie more intoxicated. Yeah, I remember, Jesse, like in the 90s, it was a big thing. You saw those everywhere in the 90s. Yes, that's the jacket has nothing to do with it. We went over that the other day. We have to get rid of what is not true and not give that any sort of air, because that's how things get muddied up. We can't see clearly when there's so much all around us that we need to be get rid of the clutter. Supposedly someone in saying they hear JS saying that's my coat. Yeah, but that's it's just hearsay. Hi, Carol. Bigger clothes, lots of kids do it. Yeah. So let me, but this person who posted, the welfare check, I'm sure that they, went and really checked that out pretty good. They have yet to do any other, press conferences or anything. I think there's not really more to say right now, to be honest with you, because, they're keeping it so tight to the glove, to the vest rather. So we got the city of Moscow. We read that. I'm going to do a case later this evening. It's of a little girl who was murdered by her parents. Absolutely horrific. So we debunked the body cam footage, did that, communication.
And more of Newsday.
Okay, Ashley, I hear ya. Okay, and this is another thing we need to talk about.
The county coroner in this case, Kathy Mabbitt, who I interviewed here on this show 2 weeks ago about the autopsies that she oversaw in the Idaho murders. Kathy Mabbitt just happens to be James Leonard's defense attorney. I know this is a lot to process. Fortunately, I have one of the best in the business to help me navigate through this. Michael Harrigan is a retired FBI special agent. He's the former chief of the Federal Violent Crime Criminal Apprehension Program, and he's also a former police officer. So, Michael Harrigan, I don't know where to start. We got a guy with a gash in his arm. Okay, maybe the wound is more recent than one from 3 weeks ago. He's violent. He has a penchant for knives, was found with 2 of them on him. Has no problem beating up women and daughters, people close to him.
And we have to remember, a lot of men carry knives. A lot of men are sadly wife beaters, and there's we're looking for one in a basket full of a lot, right? And this guy is also a peeping Tom, which ironically, sitting in the back part of the yard, up on that hill in the parking lot, that would be a peeping Tom's haven. But they're saying, this guy is ruled out.
And has no problem shooting a man dead because they were in an argument about girlfriends, and then asking to bury the body secretly so no one could see it. Do you have a shovel? That's the kind of guy I would think would be, it would be hard to rule him out quickly. It's only been a couple days since he was arrested. So can you help me walk through maybe why the police are saying that his arrest is unrelated to this murder? Nothing to see here.
Well, Ashley, good seeing you again. And this is an interesting turn of events with this individual who's close to there, and the circumstances, the knife and the assault and his prior criminal history. So this guy would have been somebody the investigators would have been all over on this one, looking at him. But it wouldn't be probably too hard to rule him out if they knew he was somewhere else at the time the crime was committed.
And we would believe the people, but that's important, right? Because who would, maybe he was with his wife and the teenagers, and they're terrified of this guy. So why would they not say anything that would give him an alibi on something as horrible as a quadruple murder? We know what he's capable of doing if he's not angry with them.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. It all depends on how the alibi is established And, it could be video evidence. It could be a non-associated person that he was with and other people saw him.
That is a very good point, Cheryl. This guy, he's had his DNA in the system, and we know that this killer's DNA, there's not been a hit. So there's another thing.
Could be anything, but you also have to remember in these cases too, that just because someone is put aside and is ruled.
That's an also good point, Dana. Very good point. Unless mixed DNA takes longer to process. It does take longer to process, and it's more complicated. So there's that as well. But as of now, they're saying he's, not related.
Out initially, they're always kept in the back. I mean, there's always a record of these interviews, and they're always looked at maybe down the road. But I would think that with these characteristics that came out in the media, that they would have been clearly focused on this guy quickly. And for them to say that he's off the plate, I would say they probably have some pretty solid indicators that he's not involved.
I hope so. I hope so. Okay, how about Kathy Mabbutt, the coroner? She's his defense attorney. This couldn't be more weird. Is this a conflict of interest, or is this how small town things have to work out? There's only so many defense attorneys and coroners.
That's a really, it seems like a very odd turn of events. And the nature of living in the small town, which I've lived in some small ones over the years, is that a lot of times these professionals that are lawyers and others, and the coroner is generally either appointed or elected, is they all have other jobs, like this, in this case, the attorney. So it's not unusual in a small town to have some cross pollination there between professions. What makes it interesting is with this individual and the visual on it, him, the circumstance of his background and some of the internet chatter about him potentially being connected here, or the questions about that. But until the police find that he is actually a person of suspicion or a person of interest, and there's something there, I don't think there's really an ethical issue there, because she's an attorney, she represents people. But if there was a situation where this individual was under suspicion and she knew that, she would probably have to recuse herself pretty quickly there.
It's fascinating, to see a case like this all of a sudden pop up. And like I said, the internet went, it broke over this guy with a big bandage on your arm. I mean, obviously people would be concerned about that. Michael Harrigan, thank you. It's been good to have you, and I can't wait to have you back. Thank you for watching.
So she didn't end up doing the autopsy, apparently. Is that correct? Hold on, I've got the article here. She was the first elected coroner in 2006. They have evidence outside that looks like a tire track. And that makes me wonder, is that from the white Hyundai, I wonder? It could be. If you can, I don't know if I can zoom in any closer. Might get a little blurrier. But as you can see, there's definitely some type of tracks. Isn't and the paper. You talking about this paper, vet girl? if she's the defense attorney, coroner, and medical examiner during the autopsies I had. Well, I mean, I know a lot of coroners have, in a lot of small towns, the coroner's office is also at a funeral home. It's very, very common in smaller towns. Oh, hold on. I'm going to send this to myself. Give me a second. I'll play this. Okay. Oh, I can't play that. Never mind. I think those 5 that we're in, we're definitely looking for something, maybe a ring or pin or something. Yes, you have to have a doctorate. Maybe the students were, I don't know. Yeah, well, they're saying the dude with the James guy, that he's not. This is, consider him out. So mark him out. Okay. It's not showing up well. All right, so we got that, we got that, we got that. So yeah, we're just going to have to, there's nothing new that is coming out in this case. Everyone is frustrated, but we have to remember the people that are most frustrated are obviously the parents and the family's loved ones, and I'm sure the authorities. I think I'm going to do that, pussyfooting. I think that's a good idea. I may work on that. Who's in and who's out. I think that's a good thing. The graduation ceremony is live. I wonder where I could play it from. See if I can find it anywhere. School website. Let's see here. Any word on what that piece of paper might be? Nope. Let's see, University of Idaho. See if it's on Facebook, if they're streaming it there. You're ready for the world. Look at this. You're ready for the world, and the world is ready for you. Congratulations. Videos. Images from the ceremony, from the morning ceremony honoring those of the university. I don't see it. Hey, Leonard. I hope they still have the students' certificates for the. I hope they do. I hope they are able to give it to them, you know. Well, whoever it was, I believe they knew that they were at that, you know, that food truck that night. I do believe that. I think the ceremony's over, apparently. This has to be a very hard time for this school and the parents. Oh, yeah. Look at there. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Very cool. Very cool. Yes, we need to keep them in our prayers for sure. How is the defense attorney going to question the medical examiner? Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off. I will be back most likely later this evening, probably around 8 or 9 o'clock. If anything comes out before then, you know I'll be here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit that thumbs up button, and justice for these 4. God bless them. God bless their families. We need justice sooner rather than later. Can't let this thing go cold, and we really have to clear up any misinformation. I think I'm going to work on photos of who's clear and who's not. So did you talk about the fake recording that? Yes. Hi, Stacy. Yeah, we covered that in the earlier part of the stream. All right, guys, love you all. I appreciate you. Hug your loved ones. Life is short. Enjoy your weekend as well. Bye-bye.